big Sagittarius party last night. Vic, you had his party. And I didn't go. Everybody called me. I didn't go. I wasn't into it. I don't know why. I just didn't go.
You know, once you reach a certain age in life, there's just some things that are just not even important. You know, like parties and people and all that kind of stuff.
He's like,
You know, Jesse. She has eyes like the Cheshire cat. Her eyes intrigue the hell out of me because there's something behind those eyes. Eyes are the gateway to the soul, and I've been trying to figure out what the hell is behind that.
you think there's something,
There is something.
maybe more going on than meets the eye.
Yeah, I like tumas.
Alrighty, we're rolling. So.
It's latmatu. It's latmatu. All right, Mikey.
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up or something, sir. Countdown or something. I can't even see you, so I can't hear you.
Verbal thumbs up. Ready to go.
Today is 12/12. I'd like to welcome you to the Self-Survival Education for Life and Family show. It is a show that deals with human crisis management. We're about solving problems. We're about finding answers and solutions. We're about finding those things and that will give you what you need in order for a greater life. I am your host, T. Rodgers. Today I have my co-host, the lovely Tia, and she will introduce herself. It is not about us. It is about our guest. Our guest is someone that is very special to me on a personal level and also on a professional level. His name is Jesse Katz. I think that he is a writer extraordinaire. He has been in this industry for a while, and I will not take away from his reputation nor his legend. And I will also allow him the perfect introduction because he's going to introduce himself. First off, we'll go to Tia. Tia, tell us who and what you are.
My name is Tia Gold, and I'm an author of social sciences.
Benabach. Jesse.
Nice.
And that was short and sweet, you know.
To the point.
And sexy.
She's a serial killer.
I'm Jesse Katz. I'm a writer, an editor, an author. When you said I've been doing it for a while, another way of looking at that is when I first met you, T, I think we were half the age that we are right now. Well, I won't speak for you, but I'm twice as old as when I first met you, and I'm pleased that we're both still alive and kicking.
Well, that's one of the attributes of being around T. Rodgers. I will give you life experience. You will live 10 lifetimes around me. I stick my chest out on that one. As far as time goes, Jesse, time never was. Some people say, and I say it too, all things in time within time. However, time never was. It is endless. I am a believer that we are nothing but bag of bones and meat sacks. We are spirits trapped in the human body. That is my belief. Now, tell me a tad bit, matter of fact, why don't you start with how we met?
How did we meet? Actually, I do know how we met. This goes back to the early 90s. In fact, I think it was 1991. I was a newbie at the LA Times, trying to find my way around Los Angeles and learn the craft of journalism. And there was just a horrific crime committed at the Jordan Downs housing project in Watts. There was a firebombing, and large Mexican family living in one of the units. And I'm forgetting exactly how many folks perished, but a little baby died, grandpa died, and a couple of others. It was 4 or 5 people. And the suspects were African American, and the community was just really devastated and on edge. And I was the lucky person who got the call to roll on down and see what's going on. And I was greeted by a young guy named Chopper. Do you remember Chopper?
I remember Chopper. Chopper's a good friend of mine.
I've not heard or seen him since,
Yeah.
or it's been years and years. But he greeted me as the white dude rolling into Watts, saying, "What are you doing here, man? You only come. People like you only come when the shit hits the fan. When things blow up here. Is that your only understanding of this community and what takes place here?" And I was, I couldn't deny the truth of that. Although the flip side to that argument is that if the media doesn't pay attention to those kinds of incidents, just says, "Oh, well, that's the kind of stuff that happens," that's also sort of horrible neglect as well. I mean, we have to pay attention and care. But you have to put it in context. Has to be some broader view of things rather than just focusing on the violent incident. Anyway, Chopper said, "Hey, if you want to know what's going on, I have a place where you can start." And I said, I'd like to learn if you'll teach me." And he invited me to go up to Jim Brown's house, the NFL great, and up in the Hollywood Hills. Jim had started a program called the American program, as you know well, and which was kind of a gang intervention and recovery program, and trying to channel the incredible skills and wisdom and determination of gang members or former gang members, and direct it towards something that would be constructive and that would make money, would make legitimate money that you could hold on to. And so I went up to the Hollywood Hills, and I was the odd duck in this room full of heavyweight dudes, man. And I felt my knees a little rubbery in that environment, but I was welcomed, and I think people, once they realized I was sincerely interested in what they had to say, responded to me. And I wrote a story about that meeting and the program, and that ended up on the front page of the LA Times. And at that moment, the LA Times decided I should be the gang reporter, because you would want the young white Jewish kid from Portland, Oregon, to cover the LA gang scene at the height of the chaos, right? But I think you were one of those people that extended your hand and was one of my early teachers.
I'm going to touch on three things. But first and foremost, I'll start where you ended. One of the things about leadership, I mean, a real, pure, true, natural leader, if he doesn't have an ounce of empathy, then he is not a leader. So being up there and being out of place, and this is something that I didn't know back then. What year was that?
That was 1991.
91. I didn't know the skills that I had possessed. I really didn't know who and what I were at that particular time. And one of the things that set me apart from other quote-unquote leaders, non-traditional leaders, was that I held a bucket full of empathy, and I didn't really know what it was. So that's what was the draw, to see that you were a fish out of water, and that there needed to be somewhat of a